back to the Boolin podcast where we talk about shit that you might like. I am Dylan. We got Andy to my left. We got Chris right below me, and we got Michael to the left of him. And we have our first returning guest. It is actually my brother, and you guys might recognize him from the first podcast. That is because he is our first returning guest. Say hello, Austin.
What to do?
AKA Acrion, if you listen to his music. Which brings me to our first topic. Could you talk about how you got into music and like what kind of music you make?
Oh geez. Okay, so it's kind of long-winded. So my first introduction into music was actually when we were living in Hungary. Um, so I have major ADHD, and one of those symptoms that I had since I was a small kid was I would constantly be tapping on my desk in class. Um, and because of that, my parents thought it would be a good idea for me to get started in drum lessons. So I started learning how to play drums in Hungary. Drum teacher sucked, but I was learning a lot, and it made me want to do more. So then, when we moved to the U.S., I wanted to get into band and all that stuff. So I did regular middle school band, and then in high school, I did band and drumline and percussion. And then I started pursuing like the interest in film scoring. And one day, I was messing around on my dad's computer, and I found this program called GarageBand. I thought it was the coolest shit ever. Just messing around, like throwing in the little loops, and then I found out you could record sound like songs through like the little computer keyboard. And so I just keep on messing around, and then it kind of grew into a major addiction. And then I finally found out that there was programs that you could pirate. So I pirated FL Studio and started messing around, and I decided to start uploading
Allegedly,
that stuff to.
you
Yeah,
you allegedly
allegedly.
Yeah.
downloaded these.
Yeah.
I did not pirate anything. Um, but
Same here.
after messing around on FL Studio for a little bit, I actually, when I was still working on GarageBand, I decided to upload my first full project that I made on it and onto YouTube, just kind of for shits and giggles. At that point, I just literally made the YouTube channel to upload the song onto it, and it was a remix of a song from Bass Hunter. I think it was Dota or something like
Oh,
that. Like a really,
Yeah,
really terrible remix of it, basically just like
I
using
remember
the
that.
exact same melody and just with all these different sounds. But obviously, no one listened to it. But I was like, oh well, this is pretty cool having stuff on YouTube. I want to do shit like this more. And so I started continuing to do it with FL Studio, and I was drawing influences from a bunch of European artists with like little like electronic music, but it's kind of underground. So like some of it's called techno trance, hands up, that kind of stuff. And I forget which song was the first. Oh, so have you guys ever played the game Age of War? It was
Age of
like on
War.
addicting games.
Mhm.
Sounds so
You
familiar.
you
It was
like it's
really
kind of
fun.
like
Yeah.
tower defense, and you can evolve into different time periods.
I
Yeah.
also
And you
gotta
have like
say,
different armies.
I'm very
Age of
young.
Empire?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of,
Mm,
but like a lot more basic than that.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
It was like a
but
flash game. Um.
yeah, it was
Oh,
basically a flash game. But anyways, it had a really catchy theme song called "Glorious Morning," and so I decided to remix it and I uploaded it. Not thinking anything of it. It was just another project that I spent like 2 hours on, and for some reason it started gaining serious traction. I think I only had 400 subscribers at the time, and within 3 months it got up to 250,000 views. And that was my first indication. I was like, okay, maybe I should actually start trying to make this a thing. And so ever since that point, I started just uploading more and more often. And then eventually I got into streaming, and that was when the fan base started really picking up. And now I average, I think, per year. I'm at 2,500 subscribers per year. Once I started gaining traction, I started streaming just because there was people wanting to or they were asking me to post videos of like my music making process, but I'm way too lazy to edit videos. Like to this day, I have not edited a single YouTube video, and I have over 150 YouTube videos now.
Damn.
The only editing I've done is like After Effects for like my songs and stuff. So, anyways, I started doing that just to kind of negate that while being lazy. But surprisingly, doing the streams is actually what's increased my fan base by the largest amount, even though it has the least amount of activity during. Like my songs have all of my views and all that stuff. But whenever I stream is when I get my donations, my subscribers, and all that stuff. It was super, super fucking cool. But ever since doing that, and because of that, I got partnered shortly. Like it was actually the year after I created the channel, I got partnered, which was back then they still had an application process for it and everything. You had to have a
Oh,
certain amount of activity and all that stuff. So it was a lot harder back then. Um, but I did all that, and now with streaming, even I'm terrible at keeping up a stream schedule. Like I used to do it weekly, and now it's just like whenever there's time. So there's sometimes like a month
yeah.
in between all that. But my revenue from streaming alone is still upwards of 8 to 9 thousand a year right now.
Wow.
And that's
Not
not
bad.
including
Wow.
my music revenue between YouTube and Spotify.
Wow.
So it's been super life changing for me. Wouldn't be able to get my computer or anything else like that, or it was actually the reason why I was able to afford rent for my first few months living with Jessica because the army was not paying me what it was supposed to be paying me. And
Wow.
so if I hadn't had that YouTube channel, we would have been evicted.
Damn.
Goodness, I
Wow.
didn't know that.
So
That's
it
awesome,
was
man.
pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
How long
that's
did
the
it?
story.
How long did it take for you? So for the monetization, holy cow, monetization.
Monetization.
I can't say it.
Monetization.
There,
Monetization, yeah.
there, there you go. That
Yeah.
okay. Is it because right now it is for YouTube? It's I don't know if it's an or, but it's 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 watch hours. Was that the same thing as before, or is that like
No, it
you're getting into an application?
so back then for the application, you actually only needed because I know the guy who told me about getting partnered, he only had 350 subscribers when he got partnered. The biggest thing was back then was showing them that you were active and then you were on a positive trajectory um for growing your channel basically.
So we got a
Mm.
rough voice.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Um
It makes sense the way they're doing it because there's so many creators trying to,
Yeah.
they see all these YouTubers and like, damn, I want to become a YouTuber. So
yeah,
it just might
exactly.
work for them to get paid from it.
Yeah. So but now it's obviously a lot harder to make that happen, but it just you kind of have to get lucky now, which sucks. But what was the original question? Sorry, I
No,
got
no, we were
maybe
just talking
sidetracked.
about
Getting
you
monetized.
answered it. Yeah, you've
So
never.
getting monetized, yeah, they monetized me when I had I think 700 subscribers. My channel views was total, I think, because it was when around when Glorious Morning first got posted. So I think my total channel views for all of my videos was I think around 300 to 320,000. So it was not significant at all, especially compared to nowadays. Um, like for instance, now my channel is at almost 3 million views. Um,
Damn.
but yeah, it did not take a lot back then. You just had to be active and you had to regularly showing an upward trend in audience retention, basically. So it's pretty
Yeah,
pretty neat opportunity. And now it's a lot harder to get started and to get monetized and all that stuff, as you guys probably know by now.
Yeah.
It's way stricter of a system because of the sheer amount of people who were getting monetized because of how easy their system was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
you just have to adjust with the trends and stuff like that. And
yeah, yeah, I would say nowadays you definitely have to be jumping on trends in order to kind of jumpstart yourself. And even nowadays, like a lot of big YouTubers are like telling people like, "Hey, you need to get a little clickbaity with your titles." um, in order to gain audience. Because it's true. Because I mean, the algorithm's kind of fucked. Pardon my French, but
no, it's
No,
fact.
it really is.
it's like there will be. I mean, look at PewDiePie. He's like the most viewed YouTuber ever, and he's never on the trending page. Like it's YouTube picks who it promotes, and so you kind of have to trick your audience into coming to you at first, and then once you got them, that's when you can start building that relationship. So you have to be kind of scummy about it at first if you want to get started nowadays.
I would like to say instead of scummy, just smart.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
smart about
you
it.
didn't.
Nah, and that's the part. That's like the fucked up part about it. You gotta clickbait people to come in, and especially with a podcast, which is like, it's hard to clickbait an hour-long fucking video.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
damn, like,
it's super hard to get that engagement with a podcast because now like the shittiest thing is like now you just like almost everyone knows at least one person who's doing a podcast, so you have to kind of take those steps to put yourself or kind of separate yourself from everyone else. So like what you guys are doing with guest features or different guest features is a very effective thing. And then thumbnails obviously make a huge difference,
Yeah.
and you have to. It sucks too because like one of the nice things about podcasts is like it's kind of like a conversation, but in order to keep that entertainment value, you have to kind of plan out that conversation a little bit, which sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's the only way that people stay entertained. That's why like you'll see a bunch of people in YouTube videos faking reactions to real life things. Because
Also
if you show
true.
them your real reaction, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, this is fucking boring. Why did I click on this?"
Yeah.
yeah.
Instead of someone just like freaking out like the world just ended. But yeah, YouTube's gotten scummy, but it rewards people who get scummy with it. So kind of kind of got to pick your poison with that.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Logan Paul and the forest thing, the freaking the the boxing thing. Like, oh god,
Yeah. Yeah, he went from most hated to now he's like setting up fucking millions of dollars per year through that infamy.
I,
And now he's not doing anything like he was before.
but the thing is, like, there's so much work that is put in. Like, a lot of people do hate on them, but he's definitely put in the work to get to that position.
Oh, I
And
agree. He
daily blogging or just daily uploads is definitely difficult.
dude, yeah. And he fucking you gotta respect his hustle. You might not like the guy, but you gotta respect the dude's hustle. And like think about the fact that this guy, like, he was trending number one in the world for showing like fucking dead bodies in the forest. But now he buys a fucking Pokemon card that was valued at $50,000, wears it to an event, and now it's valued on eBay at over $1 million.
Yeah.
I think it was
Even
more than that.
despite all that shit he's done, yeah, I think it's close to
The
2
card
million
is
now.
worth more than
I
50.
think it was.
It's a different card.
No,
I
no, no.
think I
The card before Logan Paul was valued at $50,000.
Someone look it up.
I know there was a lot.
I think it was more than that because it's a PSA 10. It's not like
Yeah,
not a
I
9
know.
or anything.
I was a huge Pokemon card collector for a while. I promise you, 50,000 is what it was valued at like 2 years ago. But because of Logan Paul, it's increased by 400%.
That whole market with Pokemon has increased insanely, like
Yeah,
so much.
it's fucking ridiculous.
Like I remember, I didn't have that. Actually, talking about Pokemon, and Michael knows where I'm going with this,
Oh, he's gonna make that.
bro.
Out.
Like when we were a kid, man, and I don't know. I think because so me and my mom we had this deal. Like I would clean both bathrooms, and then like she'll pay me like $10 for each.
Hell
So
yeah.
and then I'll clean the bathrooms
Damn.
every week. Yeah, bro, it was awesome, and I'll do like quick, like perfect. It's great. And then I found out that my brother stole $20 from me to buy a Pokemon card,
Oh
and
hell no.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I remember this situation because I was like, you stole money from me. I won't forget. But I think what happened was my mom or and Michael, you could remember me. You told me that she went to school and got the money back, and you gave the card back.
Yeah. What happened was like I remember it was like in elementary school. It was like we were like fifth grade or fourth grader. I don't know. I don't remember much. I know that Pokemon at that time, or it was getting very popular with like trading cards. I didn't even know how like Pokemon it worked. Nothing like that. I was like, oh, it looks cool. I want it. And then one of my friends was selling it. Like he was kind of like the car dealer. He was like, I have this Pokemon for $20. He was
Oh
basically
man, you got
selling.
scammed.
Yeah, he was selling it out. I literally got scammed. Not gonna lie, I did get scammed. He was selling it out,
Yeah, big
and
time scam.
and I was like, you know what? I'll get it for $20. It's like, what's gonna happen? I get the money, and it was Andy's money. And then the funniest of all thing, after we gave back the card and they give me back the $20, my mom was the one who kept the $20, not Andy.
This man bought a
Oh my
Geodude
god.
for $20.
Bruh.
Get fucked, stay fucked, I guess. Damn.
Like the dealer.
What was
shit,
it?
man.
Was it actually?
It was some. It was. I think it was an electric type. It was I forgot what was his name. But while the Pokemon anime was airing,
Electabuzz?
I, I gotta look it up, and I'll share with Dylan later so you can put it in on the video. But like it was like it looked cool for me. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I was a little kid, so I was like, you know what? I'd rather buy it.
It was somebody else's money. Like what the
Hey,
fuck?
I was a kid. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
No, I think you know what you're doing. The card value.
Probably.
And it was smart. You were resourceful. You know, you wanted something, you didn't have it, you found a way to get it.
True.
Just if this was you in 20 years afterwards, you probably won't be here. You'll probably be in jail.
True.
Yeah. Fuck. That's fucking hilarious.
All right, so I don't know if I even mentioned this already, but uh, Austin is my brother. By the way, he's my older brother. And we both lived in Hungary, Budapest, Hungary, for about 10 years. Austin, do you have any stories from when we were kids in Hungary, or even just when we were kids in like Michigan or whatever, um, that you could share with everyone? Maybe if it's a funny story.
Let's see. Hungary is very interesting country. Let's see.
Sorry to put you on the
So
spot.
no, it's all good. Okay, so here's one that kind of like will tell you a little bit about like the culture there. So one thing you should know about Hungarians is they're not a huge fan of Americans, and even the kids know this. So as soon as, well, for one, they'll everyone picks on foreigners over there a lot. Like even cops, like the cops are super corrupt there for one. So like foreigners who have a car overseas in Hungary will have a special license plate that will indicate that they're a foreigner.
Yeah.
And so cops will pull over cars with that plate and basically keep on harassing them until someone slips in money with their paperwork, and that's the only way they'll leave them alone. Anyways, tangent aside, um, so in Hungary at school, Dylan and I both went to a regular Hungarian school there, and so we got picked on.
You more than me, but yeah.
Yeah. However, there was one day, I don't know if Dylan remembers this, but one day they were actually picking on Dylan while we were at, it was like our recess. And my dad, because this was not the first time that either one of us had got picked on, my dad had given me permission basically a few weeks back. It was like, hey, if they ever pick on your brother again, you just fucking kick their
All
ass.
hands.
He was like, blood runs thicker than water. You don't ever forget that. And that always stuck with me. And so Sure enough, they were picking on Dylan during recess. They actually took away one of his. It was like a GI Joe, but it's called Action Man.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
They took away his Action Man and started dunking it in the little sandbox, trying to ruin the toy.
I rem-
And so,
I just don't remember that part.
uh, in Hungary, Hungarians are not fighters. They're thieves, so they'll steal your stuff, but they never fight people. Americans obviously like to solve problems through fighting.
Yep.
Well,
I saw the
I was gonna say
problem.
shoot, but
I saw the problem. I used the American solution. I kicked their ass. Um, and so it wasn't like a big fight. This is my first time actually physically fighting a kid. But I knocked him on his ass, him and his friend. One of them started crying, and the other one was just in shock. And I'm trying to figure out why he's so surprised. But it's because they
Dominican
don't.
people.
Yeah, they're just like, what? Why are we fighting? Or he just hit me. Why is he allowed to do that? Oh yeah. So the dude was just like completely
Shock.
bewildered that he got his ass kicked because apparently that's like never happened at that school. And the teacher was just like, he did what? And the guy was like, he pushed and punched me. And she was like, what do you mean? Like you guys were playing? It's like no, like. And they just went on and on. Eventually, she asked me what happened, and I explained, and she was just like, "All right, well, you're in trouble." But then she like looked at the other kid. She's like, "Don't ever do that again." But I was the only one who ended up getting actually in trouble, not the other kid.
Damn.
It was so weird.
I-
But that was I think that's like the most interesting story I could think of. I mean, um, just a lot of instances like that. That wasn't the one and only time that something like that happened in Hungary. Um,
Okay, so
but yeah, nothing else.
the thing is, I don't remember that, and I don't really remember getting bullied too often, and I
It
wonder if
wasn't.
it's because after you did that, nobody fucked with me. Like I
I will
wonder.
say it definitely I don't think it happened to you anymore after that, but
Yeah.
also there's a lot of times that you didn't realize that they were picking on you because it was before you
Uh.
learned Hungarian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um
man.
and
That's
so
true.
I was just like what the hell? That's so messed up. But I mean they obviously don't care. And I mean the the way kids act there are totally different. Like I mean I heard fuck you for the first time in Hungary when I was 5. And from another 5-year-old, and I'm just like, wow, what does this word mean? And I asked my dad, and he was like, don't ever say that again.
You get an ass
But
whooping for saying it, but you're just trying to ask, well, what was it?
not for that, but I definitely one time, and I mean, Dylan did something similar too. I forget which one of us did it, but one of the kids, when we were playing at a McDonald's playland, here either me or Dylan heard one of the kids say shit or bird shit,
That
and
was me.
so
That was me.
yeah, I was Dylan. And then so when he came home and he was going down the stairs, on every step he would say bird shit, bird shit, bird shit, bird
Yeah.
shit.
And we had like a not a babysitter but like a caretaker, I guess.
Caretaker? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was like watching us, and she saw that happen, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, what do I do?" Like, she was like, "What?"
Good
She was
times.
like freaking out.
So
Yeah.
I have
Go ahead.
so I have a question. Like, how did you guys end up in Hungary? Were you guys born there, or was it something that you guys had
Our,
to live there for a period of time?
our parents were missionaries. So for religious reasons they were over there and we were along for the ride. Uh wasn't a whole lot more interesting than that, but basically they were sent by a church to go for I think a year, and then they decided, oh, we're gonna live here. Um, and so we ended up being there for 10 years,
About 10 years, yeah.
and then came to Florida afterwards. So we moved to Florida when I was 13 and Dylan was 11.
Funny thing about that is we were only supposed to stay in Florida for about a year, and then we ended up
Mm-mm.
living here. Yeah,
No,
we were gonna
no,
we were gonna what's it called, furlough here for about a year, and then they were like,
no.
oh,
We that
let's.
was that was a different time.
Was it?
But then after that, when we went back to Hungary, they were like, "Wow, we really liked Florida," and so then we moved to Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. Then.
And I used to think I liked Florida, but now looking back, I'm like, not
Yeah,
really, not really
it's
for
not
me.
that great. So, speaking of me getting bullied, do you remember the Dee story?
The who?
The Dee story? The kid that I got in a fight with, and then you sat on him?
God, I want to
Damn.
hear more about that.
You don't
That
remember
on
it?
him?
So,
Wait,
okay.
are you talking about the kid in Florida?
Yeah, kid in Florida.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't sit on him. I got on top of him, started wailing on him.
oh, do you remember that story?
Kind of. He was calling you a homophobic term over and over and over. And by that time, since I was in sixth grade, I knew what that homophobic term meant, and I had experience from several fights at this point. So he did not get as nice of a treatment as the kids in Hungary did. So I think the first thing I did was grab him in a headlock, slammed his face into this little plastic fence, and then got on top of him, started punching him over and over and over and over until his older brother pulled me off. And then he ran to his mom. His mom came like a few minutes later. Dylan had already gotten our dad, and so dad was coming out to the playground too. His mom came over. He's like, "What the hell happened?" So I told mom what he was saying. She looked at him. She's like, "You called him what?" And just backhanded him across the face. Not even kidding. And I was just like, "Oh."
Yo, if you
Did-
do that now to another person's kid, a lawsuit,
Lawsuit, yeah.
No, no,
two
that
two
was the
life.
mom
You
to
know.
her son. The mom to her son.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, I was
The
about to
mom.
say, even that, even if you hit your own kid in public, you get like lifetime.
Oh
Because
yeah.
people are that sensitive. My
By the-
mom would whoop my ass in the store, and like people would watch him like he was a bad kid, he deserved it. I'm like, bitch, help!
I just thought it was
Yeah.
super funny too, because like we have my dad at the time especially was like really really strict, but I told him what happened and I was like I did exactly what you said, and then so he was like okay well let's go find out what happened. And then after he saw all that go down with the mom slapping her kid, he looked at me. He was just like, without the cussing obviously because he's a very religious, but it was probably one of my favorite moments from when I was a kid. Super funny. And he
by the
took us
way,
out
I
for ice
was
cream afterwards.
just for a timeline. I was in 5th grade at this point, or no, 4th grade. I was
No,
in 4th
you're
grade.
in fourth grade.
Yeah.
damn, damn. These kids were savages back then.
I've no
Yeah.
the only thing when I've said homophobic slurs, like I bullied one kid, and it wasn't. Oh, this was just like my
Oh
only
wait, did I
time that I
say
did bully
homophobic
somebody.
slur? No, he was calling doing a. Sorry, he was calling doing a.
Oh,
Because
okay,
for
my
he
story
found
to
out.
myself.
My bad. It's because
Saves me
he
a story.
knew Dylan had some disabilities growing up, mental disabilities, and so I took that to heart immediately when he said that.
Damn.
Um,
That's a
although
whole nother
I
story.
use that word on a regular basis though, so I can't judge that one.
Yeah.
But
Basically,
don't call someone who actually had issues that.
yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't, but I
No,
had
no,
I had brain
but
damage, as
yeah,
a kid.
that's what I'm saying.
So, but yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
That'll take forever for me to explain.
bunch of rabbit trails.
I know you're in the military.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about the first episode, but elaborate on it. Like, what made you just go into the army and stuff like that?
So, I know I talked a little bit about this, but basically the biggest thing was after I graduated school, I wasn't holding on to jobs that well. I wasn't really working that hard. I let my college registration fall through, so I wasn't doing any classes. And eventually, my parents got fed up with it. I was just letting my life go away, and so they kicked me out. Um, and so I was couch surfing for a while, and then trying to work at the same time. And I kind of had like like a light bulb moment halfway through that where I was just like, "Dang, I really need to get my life together, but I don't know how." And so eventually, once I secured a job, my parents let me come back. I was working at Panera, just doing 40 hours a week, still not really doing much, just working 40 hours, getting money, and then spending it on computer parts and food. And so eventually, because I had already thought about it in high school, I was like, kind of want to go overseas and kill some bad guys.
Good
And
way to put
so
it.
yeah, that's like I went into the recruiter's office. I told him I was like, I want to fight bad guys.
It's
And he's
just a
like,
clip
okay,
of him just cleaning, the freaking
yeah,
sidewalk. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. Oh, and then fast forward, and here I am mopping hallways. Shit. But no, I usually can make other guys do that. But yeah. So went through that process, scored high in the ASVAB, and even though I qualified for every job, I still wanted infantry because I wanted to kill bad guys, and went to basic training, and that was my primary motivation. It was to complete this so I could go kill bad guys. And so I did. I passed it. Without my drill sergeants even knowing I existed. When you're at the end of basic training, you have to go to talk to your drill sergeant and find out what duty station you're going to.
Yeah.
And so we were all standing in line, and I finally went into the office, and like he looks at me, he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" I was like, "I'm Private Corbin." He's like, "What platoon are you in? I haven't seen you before." I was like, "I'm in your platoon, drill sergeant." And he's like, "I've never fucking seen you before." By the way, but then he was like, "You know what? Good job. That is the biggest achievement you can get in basic training is your drill sergeants not knowing you, because that means you never fucked up or never caught their attention.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But like you're not the top guy, you're just the not on the radar guy, which means you never get fucked with." But yeah, that was my
Smooth
getting to
sailing.
the army, and then fast forward today, and I never got to kill bad guys. So,
And
but
not I even like I'm glad we got into the topic of like the army and stuff like that.
mm,
The the one question that I really want to ask you, and I wanted to get your thoughts, and just knowing knowing you a little bit. I don't know if this is 100% correct or not, but I've heard that recently of news that well, first of all, what do you think of the vaccines for COVID and things like that?
so
What are
it's
your
a
thoughts?
double-edged sword for me because before all COVID happened, I used to shit on anti-vaxxers regularly. I thought like anti-vax stupidest breed of human that I ever met. Like people were saying that vaccines lead to autism and all that shit. I thought it was total bullshit. I'm a very blunt person, so I'm not afraid to say what I think. Um, However, nowadays, with these vaccines, I'm split a little bit down the middle. On one hand, I think it would be wrong of me to refuse a vaccine when I was making fun of all these people in the past for not getting vaccines for other things. And so I went and got the vaccine for that reason, just because I want to not be a hypocrite. Um, and also because they were saying that there were going to be travel restrictions, you wouldn't be able to travel without a vaccine, and I'm going to need to travel because we're going to be moving in January. But, however, and this is the bigger side of the double-edged sword, I think it is super fucked up that America is forcing people to get a vaccine that is not FDA approved. I think people should have a choice of if they get a vaccine or not, especially a vaccine for a virus that has a 99% survival rate. The biggest message that I got when I heard all of these different developments with forcing the vaccine, forcing mask mandates, refusing people from doing certain things is that the government wants complacency because people are starting to question how competent the government leaders are. So, I think at the end of the day, the vaccine should be 100% voluntary.
It,
So, oh, go ahead.
yeah. One question before it's I'm going to lean into that was I saw that now, like I don't know if this is 100% true, that all military needs to be vaccinated.
Yep. So right now they are making a push to make the vaccine 100% mandatory for military. And the super fucked up thing about it is now that if people are refusing the vaccine in the military, even for religious reasons, they're going to force that person to either get it or get kicked out of the army and lose their benefits.
Damn.
That's messed up.
And all, like, no matter how long they serve, so it could be a guy who's been serving in the army, gone overseas and all that for 20 years, they'll still kick him out if he doesn't receive the vaccine. And that, I think, is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard.
It's messed up.
It's not in effect yet, so that's still not mandatory, but it's coming to that. Now, right, the phase that they're at in making it mandatory is right punishing all the people who have the vaccine with making them do all the unvaccinated people's work to try to get them to turn on the unvaccinated and make the unvaccinated people look super guilty and selfish. And I think that's so messed up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Trying to control you with the 5G, dude.
Getting my
Yeah.
5Gs today, bro. Getting my 5Gs.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say, I don't think if you refused, well, you probably would have had to take it anyways, but I don't think if you refused the vaccine, I don't think that would have made you a hypocrite because it's for a different reason. It's because this one hasn't been tested enough.
Yeah.
It's been only a year since the virus has been out. Those other vaccines, those those diseases or whatever, those have been out for a long time and they've had a lot of testing and they've revised and more testing and then revised again over like all of these years and like this vaccine is like super new. So
Yeah,
I
this is
think
one of the most rushed vaccines in history.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think like refusing it, I don't think that would have made you a hypocrite because it's for a different reason. Those people that are saying like those other vaccines are like gonna give you autism, they're dumb because there's so many people that have already taken them and never got autism, and like yeah. So I kind of disagree with you, um, being like I need to take the vaccine,
That
because it'll make me
wasn't
a
my
hypocrite.
primary reason for taking it. There were just a lot of factors kind of pushing me to do it.
That's understandable.
But
It'll be easier for him to have the vaccine than him without the vaccine, because him without the vaccine he would run into a lot of problems.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's made life easier, but at the same time, the other side of that coin, I will defend absolutely anyone who refuses that vaccine. And
Did
I
you
am on
know?
their side in that debate.
Did you know actually that this vaccine, like you said, how they rushed it and stuff? But did you know that even if the fact that they rushed it, that this vaccine is actually a whole new like technology that they're using, like it's
Yeah,
different from other vaccines
because this is
because
one of the first vaccines that uses DNA and DNA modification.
yeah, so like other vaccines introduce like a weakened version of the disease into your body, and then your body creates the antibodies for that disease or whatever, right? But this vaccine makes it so that your own body produces COVID disease cells or whatever, I guess, virus cells, and that's why like so many people feel like shit and whatever like once they take the vaccine, and then your body creates its own the the cells itself, and then it fights it itself. So like, and that being a whole new technology is just something that hasn't been tested enough. Is I think the reason why so many people don't are afraid of it and don't necessarily agree with getting it.
Yeah,
The
I think
government has been forcing fear into people, and that's why like that's why people want to get the vaccine, because they're so scared of it. Where, like you said, 99% survival rate. Nobody knows that number. They think it's lower, and people are once you get it, you die. I remember when it first came out, it's like, dude, once you get it, you're done.
Yeah, that was the fear back then. I
Mhm.
just I feel like when the reason I haven't gotten my vaccine is because of that fear of like not knowing too much. And I guess yes, I'm not a doctor, I'm not in the medical field, but like it's scary to like know that it has not been FDA approved, and there's so many questionable things behind it. Where it's like I'm mostly at home, so I'm not running that big of a risk that I go out a lot. So I'm taking a little less, like a minor risk of not taking it for now. To like where it gets to a point where they tested it, revised it, they say it's now FDA approved. I'm like, okay, now let me go out there and get the vaccine. But for now, I'm pretty hesitant out of fear in a sense.
Yeah. I just think it's funny too because all of these precautions that they were instilling to prevent the spread of all that, almost all of them were completely bullshit and don't work. Like,
Yep.
like social distancing is a fucking joke. Like, who in their right mind thinks that me standing 6 feet away from you is gonna prevent me from getting any
Dude, you're
of the
saving the
germs
world,
that you're
bro.
carrying? The same with the fucking masks too, because
That's
there
don't
was
work.
they did a study and it was almost a 0% difference in infection rate in masked individuals and non-masked individuals,
But
which is
did
absolutely
did you not
mind-boggling.
forget? You gotta wear 2 masks, bro. It cancels it out, bro.
Fucking fucking stupid.
for
I will
for
say
me,
this.
yeah.
I will say this. And the army would kill me if they found out I was saying shit like this. But for the first year of COVID, we were not doing any of those precautions, social distancing, masks, or anything in my job, and we're working like a tight group of like 30 guys, all in one room together, 99% of the time, sweating, working hard, lifting shit, all that stuff. And there was like 4 COVID cases in our platoon and all that stuff. I never got it once from any of those guys.
Yeah.
And I was working in close proximity with them, no masks or anything like that. I only got it when Jessica was exposed to someone at work from a kid. And so that's another reason why all this mask for me personally. Um, yeah. And then she wears a mask religiously at work and all that, or she did. And she got it before I did. If it were up to me, we would go back to completely normal. And
I know, and I'm
that's
on
the
the same
goal.
page. And this is why I really like talking to you, because I feel like me and you have like I'm very straight up. I to certain people, because of this day and age, like some people get offended by everything, but I feel like with you I could have a conversation, I could be straight up with you. And
Oh yeah.
even with everybody here, I could be straight up and just like nobody will get offended.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
from like I know when COVID first began, I think it was February or March, but in December, like the last week of December, a whole bunch of people were getting sick. Like I even got sick, and I'm pretty sure like I think that was like the first like COVID like stuff like that happened before COVID was a thing. Like I got sick really bad, and like after that I was fine. And like one reason why I don't take it, and I don't even care if it's FDA approved or whatever, none of that. I think it's suspicious that COVID came out and literally like less than a year they created a whole vaccine for it and they're pushing it down our throats. I'm young, I'm healthy. There's no need for me to take the vaccine. If you were older, 50 or 60, then I do recommend it for you to take the vaccine because you're older and it might
Yeah.
help you. But I'm still good. I'm healthy. And people just don't care about that. It's just like vaccine, vaccine, you know. You're 16, 17, you got to take the vaccine because you got to protect everybody. I
Yeah.
think most of it is you being scared, and if it gets
Oh
me, it
yeah.
gets me, and it hasn't got me yet.
Yeah, I'd say the government and the media have been very successful in fear mongering. Uh, and it's been interesting to watch how it's been affecting like friends that I haven't interacted with since before the army, because now a lot of them, because ever since this divide that's been created, a lot of them have like, what was that, thunder?
Oh
That was
Yeah.
lightning. You could
yeah,
see it in my window.
Yo,
that
Damn,
was
Florida,
that was him
Florida ain't
ripping
messing
one,
around.
dude. That's the
um,
seat, bro. How's your seat doing? No, I'm kidding.
Jesus. Yeah,
Damn, yo, hope you
checking
got
for
that.
rips.
Yeah.
But
yo.
yeah, it's insane because like I even had like a couple best friends from high school who don't acknowledge my existence at all because of my political views
Yeah.
that I've expressed. And it's not even anything extreme. It's like saying things like, "Oh, I didn't support this guy running," and that kind of stuff. And now, like I'll comment on like their pictures on Facebook or anything like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't exist anymore.
It
And it's
doesn't
people
You
make
didn't
saying,
support Hillary. You didn't support Hillary.
yeah, it's
This,
fucking
this is
stupid. Don't even knows one of the guys who pretends I don't exist anymore. Kyle.
really.
Yep,
Damn.
Kyle Foley.
Oh my
fucking
god.
Kyle.
Oh yeah, I don't deal in sublims.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when people have different political differences. Is that how you say it? Differences?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I don't get why people get like beyond to the point where like yeah, we're no longer no friends. It's like you disagree with
yeah,
things and you get mad. Yeah.
it didn't used to be like this. That's
Yeah.
what was super upsetting. Because like we used to be able to just be like, "Oh man, we don't support the same guy. You suck," and then that's the end of it. Like, making fun of the
Yeah.
guy, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it.
For like
And
a
now it's
live
just like,
yeah.
"Oh, you didn't support this guy. You're dead to me, and your family's dead to me."
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen that. I've seen this person, and and it's funny because I was talking to this girl who was a friend of mine, and she was like, you know what? I don't even care. You know, if people like, I don't care for who they are and stuff like that, and just I don't care who they voted. And we went to this an old Cuban cafe, like around my house, and we went there to eat. And she's like, "Oh, I don't like these donors." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, because they voted for Trump." I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Oh yeah,
This was a different
and voting
conversation
for
that we're
Trump
having.
automatically means you're a racist too.
100%. And it's just like, you know, the thing is, like, and I've never said it publicly, but I voted for Trump, and I truly believe in what he's done and what he's capable of.
Mhm.
And I've learned, and I've started to like be caring for a whole bunch of people. Look, I don't agree with Biden, but he is human. We gotta remember, that he's human. And I wish we had somebody else in that spot, but guess what? We have him. I hope and I pray to God that he's good, he's healthy, and that he does good. He makes good decisions.
That's the
And I
thing
and I
we
disagree
gotta.
with him.
That's the thing we gotta remember. Like you might not like your president, but you gotta support your
It's
president.
your
And
country, man. It's your
You
like,
country.
especially.
yeah, yeah.
You
Me
you might
especially.
have to remind him a little
He's my
bit
boss.
of which
Yeah.
country it is, but
Yeah.
But talking about disagreement and all that stuff, I know that me and Dylan clash a lot on like different point of view. But at the end of the day, we like what's it called? We settle. We like get to like a neutral point where we just kind of like it's no point of going anymore. But we have like kind of like that barrier where we just fight a lot. But it's like it's not like I'm not your friend no more, bitch. I'm like fuck you, bitch. I'm like no. It's like more of like hey, okay. I guess we disagree. We might be a little bit like angry at that time, but at the end of the day, we're just still friends because we have different point of view. We're not gonna be like oh man, he doesn't exist in my life anymore. That's kind of
Yeah.
like going too far.
Exactly. That's
those
why I hate.
conversations are a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I hate politics, man. Because it just like divides people for literally no reason. You could be like perfectly good friends, and like, you could have like great like chemistry as like a friend, and like then, oh hey, I voted Republican. Oh hey, I voted Democrat. Like you never talk to each other again. Like I think that's just like the stupidest like thing ever. Like that's why I hate politics so much, and I don't
Yeah.
like talking about it.
I I have my thoughts. Well, getting older, I have my own like opinions on like politics and stuff like that. But just the way I think is just very strong minded of certain things, so I don't share it. Especially like people my age, because just they're all Democrats and things like that. And for me, even as me growing up, I thought I was Democrat because I was just forced to think like that. But now that you learn more, you get the right information, and you know what's going on, and you grow your own opinions on things. But I don't share it because it, like you said, it starts arguments, and people are very sensitive and they go ahead and like, yep, I'm done, never talking to this person ever again because he, he believes in this, and I'm like, well, damn, that's tough.
That's one reason why I can't wait to be out of the military, so I can actually express my opinion. Because I'm not allowed to express my opinion while I'm in the military. I'm not allowed to publicly support a certain political figure or anything
We're
like
gonna have
that.
you back for sure.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, it'll get real spicy. I
Bro,
promise.
after you get out that same day. No, we're still gonna
Oh,
do it while you're in still like the base and stuff like that.
oh yeah, I'll tear into people. I'll do it in uniform. I don't give a fuck. But yeah.
Bring your sergeant on the podcast. You see this motherfucker? Start exposing him.
Oh yeah, expose me. But yeah, fucking. I think the worst part though is like if someone says shit to me in public, like, cause there'll be times like during like we'll go for lunch or something like on our break and stuff, so we'll be in uniform, and people, especially in my neck of the woods, so like near DC, which is very liberal, not fond of the military type people, they'll say things to you, and because you're in uniform, you can't retaliate, obviously, and they know that, and so they'll say shit. Like, so they'll say things to you. So like, since I'm bald with blue eyes, they call me like Nazi or skinhead or baby killer and that kind of thing, and I can't do anything. That will all change when I'm a civilian.
To be fair, I've been called that too. I've been
Yeah,
called Aryan quite a few
it's
times.
yeah. I think
Watch him just start
just
taking his vest off. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
yeah,
I'm not in the army no more.
yeah, just
You're my
just
catchy
yesterday,
head.
it's funny. Like just yesterday, actually, I just like got out of the line at Wendy's, like Wendy's drive-thru. I was just driving, and this guy literally just pulled his truck in front of me, rolled down his window, and was like "fuck you," and then rolled it back up and just left. And I was like, "Why?
What?
Why? What? Do you feel better?
He shit the
Like,
window.
did that feel good?
Yeah,
I
screw,
hope- I
roll
hope
it down. It's like
Yeah,
the old
he's like,
trucks.
"Crap, crap, 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 crap."
Roll it back up. Roll it back up.
Hurry up, hurry up.
That'd be funny too. He's like, I just get out of the van. You just say, like, "Hey, go, 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 go!" He's coming over here.
Damn, that's I
That's
didn't
what I
know
have to do
that.
next time. I just gotta roll up my sleeves. Just be like, all right,
Oh
you wanna
shit,
do
you got
this?
tattoos, bro. Oh
Oh,
man.
he has tattoos. He's probably been to prison.
Oh man. Have you had that had that encounter of retaliations from the people, like
Like, have I been attacked?
almost, or any stories around that area of you being like hated by the people, by a group of people, just like with the BLM movement, they went against cops and stuff like that. Did you have that like not opportunity, that horrible
Yes. Well, we viewed it as an opportunity. We were excited. But we
Why am I
were
laughing?
on standby for the BLM riots in DC. We almost got sent out. We were loaded with ammunition and tear gas. But the National Guard got called in, even though they're far more incompetent. But they got called in, and so we didn't end up going. So that
You
was
guys
that
are
of that.
fucking home, like damn it.
Yeah, we were all just. They literally had us sitting at our company, loaded up in gear for a week and a half. We were just sleeping in our truck, and I was literally 15 minutes away from home. I was like, I could go home, sleep in my bed, but no, we had to sleep
Wow.
Damn.
15 minutes away from home in trucks on the floor for 2 weeks.
Damn.
But I mean, I like to complain. That's like the Army's favorite activity is to complain.
I seen all the TikToks.
Yeah,
When did you join the military? I don't know.
I don't know. My recruiter lied. It's the
Yeah,
same, same
yeah, it's
usual
funny.
shit.
They're funny.
But personal experience for me, I mean, I've had, when I was walking with a group of guys at the mall, I've had food thrown at me before. And I've had rocks thrown at me when I was marching in a formation before. But nothing too crazy because I don't, in uniform, I don't spend too much time off base except for meals typically. And when we're doing activities, it's usually activities to like appease the public. Like we'll do things like we'll shoot cannons for 4th of July, like fun stuff. So they'll never be mean to you when you're doing cool stuff. But if you're doing your job and you're just looking menacing, then that's when you get cussed out. But I mean, we never really get affected by it because I mean, they say way worse shit to us at work on a daily basis anyway. I mean, I don't think there's anything a civilian could say that could hurt my feelings. The only people who've been able to hurt my feelings since basic training are
My
bosses at
mom.
work. They get pretty creative. Like your mom.
My mom.
I don't know. Your mom's
I
usually pretty nice to me.
Yeah, she's very nice. She's a very nice lady.
Yeah, pleasant lady. I usually take her
Have,
out to Chili's afterwards.
She likes chilies.
Yeah,
Glad you know her. Yeah.
we do the 2 for $20.
Good, bro. Good man.
Yeah, it has to be
Man.
cost effective when you're having a night of fun.
Oh god.
have you ever been thanked for your service in your
Oh
uniform?
yeah, oh yeah. That's like the most common interaction you'll have with a civilian. And the funny thing is, especially a soldier who hasn't deployed has no idea what to say when a civilian says that. Like usually, the first reaction you have is like, "Oh, you say thank you back," like, "Oh, thank you," and just walk away. Or I've heard some really dumb ones. Like there was one soldier fresh out of basic training, and a civilian went up and said, "Hey, son, thank you for your service." He was like, "Oh, you too, thank you." Uh, I was like, "Why?"
Oh no.
But then it was almost worse. One was another guy was just like, "You're welcome," and that just sounds like the biggest dick thing ever. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I mean, that's the response to thank you. But the one that we're supposed to say is thank you for your support, and I just think that sounds fucking gross. Like it just sounds yucky to me.
It was scripted.
Bro.
Like you need to
Yeah,
say that, and I
yeah.
don't
It
like
was like,
that.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you for your support. Like
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. So I just usually just like, oh, appreciate it, and then that's it. And I try to walk away before they ask me if I killed anyone or something like that.
I'm about to get out.
Yeah.
Get out my
He's like,
face.
he's like, yeah, 3. You want to be number 4?
Bro, I
Yeah,
feel like
that's like the
the
number one thing a kid will ask you is like, oh, have you killed anyone? Or
oh man.
they'll ask you things like, oh, have you ever gotten a
Kill streak, kill streak.
I was like, oh yeah, I have a Moab waiting. I just got waiting to call it in for the perfect
You
time.
got a 25 kill streak.
Yeah,
Bro.
they'll ask you things like, how many kills do you need to get promoted? Like,
Oh
that's not
my
how it works,
god.
man.
Dude, I had
It's
double
not.
XP. I had double XP.
Max
Oh
prestige.
damn, I
Max
took the wrong loadout. I don't have any weapons.
Oh,
Bro, going back to the thank you for your service thing. Bro, I feel like the U2 thing, like it's just like it's kind of relatable like when you do that at like a restaurant or like a
Yeah,
drive-through
it's the
and
exact
they're
same
like
thing.
enjoy your food and you're like you too.
Yeah, you too.
And then you're just
Yeah,
like you're
pretty
just
much
like,
the
"Oh,
exact
why
same
did
thing.
I? Oh my God." But yeah, like
Yeah,
I feel so bad like for the people like you that like people say that to you. I wouldn't know what to do. Like I get awkward when like anyone like compliments me like a normal compliment. Like
yeah. That's the only thing that I feel like guilty on because I feel like even though I've been in the army for almost 6 years, I feel like I haven't done shit, and I know that's not true because especially because I've done funerals for a lot of people. I've done over 500 funerals now. Um, but I personally don't feel like I would have been deserving of a thank you for your service unless if I had gone over. But that's just a personal view, and that's a lot of the guys in infantry feel that way, and then a lot of guys in admin jobs are just like, oh, they said thank you. They probably think we shot some people. Wow, and they're just paperwork pushers. But I mean, it just depends on the person.
same here. I would feel the same way because, like,
Yeah.
for me, if I was in the military, and for me, consider me serving, would be me going, to another country, and actually going to war or just protecting something or taking something.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Because I personally felt like I wouldn't be able to get thanks for it unless if I had made some sort of sacrifice in that regard. But you get
I
used
feel
to
like
it and you realize that people are just paying their respect to the military, and you have to appreciate that because the military is getting less and less respect by the year.
Yep.
So you just gotta appreciate
spoiled.
those moments.
I feel like uh you're kind of like confusing, I guess, maybe like heroes and then like just like military guys, I guess. Like you could
Yes.
think of like infantry guys as like heroes who actually like go down and are willing to sacrifice or whatever. But that doesn't mean like some like Navy guy loading a fucking missile on a jet isn't like helping out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good way to put that
Everybody plays their
distinction.
roles.
Mm,
Yeah. Um,
everybody's needed.
but it's weird too because guys who have done like those things and like have gone and gotten shot, gotten friends killed and all that stuff, it's like the worst thing ever to tell them to their face. They almost always makes them feel bad, which is so weird.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But everyone deals with that kind of shit differently, though. It just depends. Some of them are like, "Fuck yeah, I killed 80 guys, hell yeah," and other guys are just. That's why you. That's what I would recommend to anyone talking to someone in the military, especially if they deployed, is to kind of avoid topics like that unless if they bring it up, because it's kind of a tricky situation, even with soldiers talking to other soldiers. Because I had a old boss called Sergeant Johnson, and he was in Korengal Valley. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that story. But basically, it was a less than a platoon of guys. I think less than 28 guys left in the most dangerous valley in Afghanistan as
Oh
bait,
yeah,
basically.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in that, and he lost. I think they lost like half their guys and all that shit. And he would. Anyways, we're getting into a sad topic, so I'm gonna digress from that. But it just depends on the guy, because I have another guy who blew up 8 guys with a mortar, and he like talks about it like he was his top kill on Call of Duty. So it just depends on the guy.
Hey, look at this video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the funny thing about soldiers too. Is like they'll have videos of like ISIS guys getting blown up. It's like, dude, watch this shit. Hell yeah, it's fucking great.
Hey, you know, I kind of I like the not don't damn.
Don't
Let me
say
be,
shit out
let
of
me
pocket.
We'll edit
rephrase
that
it.
out.
Let me
Yeah.
rephrase this.
You
Let me
like that. I
rephrase
like that
this.
too.
I would like to see the video because it's like I like action movies. Action movies.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, man, you gotta save yourself. You almost like say something out of
Nah,
context.
fuck it. Nah,
Oh.
look, the one thing I want to pride myself on is being real and being who I really am and things like that.
Hell yeah.
Those
Yeah.
videos are kind of cool to me. I would love I would probably enjoy watching the video. That's
Bro, you know
I'll
there's
also
like
show you my favorite one. My favorite one is AC-130 footage. They were scanning a field in Afghanistan. They found a guy, an outline. There was like two heat blurs,
yeah.
and they realized it was Taliban guy fucking a goat, and they fucking light him up and
What?
fucking blow him up. So he's fucking, he fucking gets blown up,
That man deserved that
blown
one
up
for sure,
blown
bro.
up to pieces while his dick is halfway inside a goat. It's fucking great. One of my favorites. The other one is there's 2 guys were
Poor
pissing
goat,
on
man.
American flag and get hit by a mortar shell.
Deserved.
Pretty
I
great.
want to talk about like that with the American flag. People in this damn country don't appreciate that flag, and the appreciation for that flag leaves every year. They don't understand how good they have it in this fucking country.
Yep.
Because coming from Cuba and what's happening in Cuba and every other country, bro, I've heard and I was watching this like interview, and it was this a Korean lady saying, "Oh, they're saying, oh, we're oppressed and all this stuff like that," and it was like in Korea, people are oppressed and they don't even know that they are.
They think they're living in the best country in the world.
And bro, and then in Cuba, what's happening now? They try to retaliate, or not trying to retaliate. They're trying to get their freedom. They're trying to speak out on it. And guess what they did? The country they attacked them. They killed them and things like that.
Mhm.
Here they fight for the most random shit. They fight for what they believe is right. They're fighting because they blocked my tweet, or whatever. Like they don't understand how good they have it. They open their mouth and they're just like, oh my god, this country don't even care, this and that. Nah, they're doing more than enough, and you guys don't appreciate anything that they're doing. Because if you lived in any other fucking country, you probably wouldn't even open your mouth. So
That's
like,
That's why, like, when people talk about how shitty America is, I like to just point them to the fact that uh the Chinese people favorite national anthem to sing is America's national anthem, and they wave American flags instead of Chinese flags because they want what we have.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, Chinese people. There's a lot of Chinese people in Hong Kong who are more patriotic to the U.S. than Americans are,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
I thought that show was so fucking cool. But I was
I
just
I
like, man,
get them. They're more loyal.
I just
Yeah.
feel like this day and age, just too much information out there that is very scattered around. That people grab one certain thing, make it to seem that it's another thing, and people start making shit up in a sense.
Mm.
And some group, and then they form groups of hating this certain topic, and it's just like it gets so complicated where you get to the point where it's like, what the fuck is going on anymore? What is real? What is fake? Well, like, what the fuck? My
that
mind
actually
is like,
reminds me of my favorite quote from Denzel Washington. He was like,
Oh, I know.
if you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you watch a lot of news, you're misinformed." I thought that was
And then he
super
says,
cool.
"What do you do then?" He's like,
That's the big question.
that's a big
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
And it's like, and he was talking about, it's like, it's not even about if it's true, if it's just about who gets it first. You know, who what information goes first. It's just publish it, get it out there. We gotta be first, and it's not. It doesn't even matter if it's true or not. They don't fact check itself, and
Yeah,
it's
and they
just
don't
like,
get numbers if they don't exaggerate.
yeah, and it's just like a lot of people just read the headlines and that's it, and they think they know it all, and that's how things are, misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
They don't read, and it's just difficult. Like there's certain situations, where they read it, and it's just like the whole thing with do you guys remember the whole situation with I forgot the woman's name, where she called the cops, and then when the cops got there she started stabbing the other people or whatever.
I don't
have
know that
not
story.
heard.
So okay, so a little bit of that story is, so apparently this woman, she was running away from some people, and I don't know the story 100%, but they go ahead and she calls the cops. The cops come, and then she's out here stabbing, like she's trying to kill like a kid and a mom or whatever and things like that. And so the cops shot her, and the whole like story came out. It was like, oh, the cops just, she was asking for help, and the cops just came and shot her. So even LeBron tweeted about it and said, "Oh, we gotta fight for this, this and that." But he doesn't know the whole reason of, like, the reason the cops shot her was because she was trying to stab a kid and a mother. And it's just like, you don't even read the whole story.
Oh, I remember that story. The lady like called the cops or whatever, and she had a knife or whatever, and like she ran at the two other ladies or whatever, and she like stabbed one of them, and then the cops like got her ass or something like that.
They shot her ass off. Like, don't say it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so many people like just only saw the part of cop shot black woman, and it's just like they didn't know the story of it, and it was just like you're misinformed, and it just sucks that everybody in this world is just misinformed and only read the title, and that's it.
Totally agree. All right. So we're gonna do a little game before we end because we're getting a little close to time. But we're gonna do Would You Rather. And I think I got
cool.
some decent ones. I might skip through the ones I got, but so for the first one, would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout for the rest of your life?
I'll answer it really quick. I'm Cuban, and I'm known for shouting, because it's just natural.
Shouting.
But what if you're at like a fucking uh, like a library or something, or like in
Too
the
damn
bathroom,
bad.
Too damn
or
bad.
like
Like
you're in the
you-
bathroom and like someone's like hi, and you're just like hi.
Nah, to be honest,
I
I'm
mean,
like that. I get loud.
Dylan, I mean, you know who you're talking to, right? Like
True,
in Florida, you know.
true. Oh, Austin, you're muted.
Well, comedic moment ruined.
Damn.
I bet it was
Right.
something with sex.
No, it was about asking about a very embarrassing book, very loudly in the library.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Where's 50 Shades of Grey?
Um, and I was like, hey, well, do you know where I can find the book about information on genital herpes?
Do you know where I can find the manga with hentai?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
my.
find this comic called Brother Sister.
Wait, what is that?
My Pornhub.
Oh, there it is.
Oh
There it
my
is.
god. For me, like I would say between me and like I would say shout, but I know I would rather one whisper because I get easily embarrassed in public. So I will freaking be so embarrassed if I have to shout everything I say, and I'll feel ashamed of myself. Like fuck, man, fuck. But I how the fuck will I rage then? I'll be like, what the fuck?
That would solve your
Yeah, and
rage
if you go to a
problem.
bar, and if
I
you go to
cannot
a bar,
even
they'll never
imitate.
ever hear your
Damn
drink order.
I can't even
I feel like that'll be
imitate
funny.
Richie.
All right, so we got one for shout. Or
What?
no, we got 2, 3 for shout. Austin, did you say what you were gonna do?
Oh, shout all day long.
Shout. Oh,
I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna do whisper because
I don't care what anyone
What?
thinks. I'll shout anything.
exactly what Michael was saying.
It's funny because I know Michael is like that, so I'm very loud in public, and I like talk to him very loud on purpose, so people can start looking, just to embarrass him.
Bro,
I don't care.
can't hang
I
out
don't
with
care.
you in public, bro. I cannot
And
hang
now
out with
that
you
I
in
know
public.
that, I will be doing this to you.
Actually,
And it's
fuck you.
Yeah, I'm
only
kinda the
because
same.
I care. And it's only because I
I know
care.
Chris is like that. You like fucks with
Like
people.
I'll just say whatever. I'll say whatever, and I don't give a fuck who's listening or whatever.
Yeah, I've done it multiple times.
All right.
What's
so
the next one?
The next one is: would you rather fight 100 duck-sized elephants or one elephant-sized duck?
Fuck.
Duck-sized elephants.
Yeah, that
Looks
would
like
be
I'm
kind of
doing some
fun.
curb
You
stomping.
could just punt them, bro.
Oh yeah, set up a field goal.
Yeah.
I
True.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you
That
get like
was
a
very easy.
get like a golf club, fucking.
Or
Bring it to Top Golf.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay, that was kind of a med one. Let me see. I thought this one was just like really weird. And I found all of these on a website, by the way. I just thought this
Yeah.
one was hilarious. Would you rather have baby vomit on you or vomit on a baby?
Vomit on a baby.
Fuck the
Oh man,
baby.
on a baby. Fuck the fuck the baby.
Like,
Fuck
just
the
like,
baby.
why was that on there? Like, I don't understand. I
Don't
just find
care.
that so weird.
Still don't care.
I actually
Yeah,
can
vomit
I
on a baby.
I have one. I have a would you rather.
Okay.
You might have to cut this one out. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Allowed to be on it.
Okay.
But listen to me, okay? Just know this is a would you rather. Just listen. Would you rather sit on a cake and eat a dick, or sit on a dick and eat a cake?
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this: one of the answers will change your body permanently.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I think the meta answer is the first one. I honestly think that's the meta.
And they didn't say how long you have to eat the dick for either.
All I gotta say is I'm not a big fan of a cake or dick. That's just.
Yeah, one of them's gonna be a little bit nicer of a cushion.
They're
Alright.
both gonna be very uncomfortable. But yeah, please let's move on. Just
Okay.
you can just cut it out.
Let me see. Would you rather be a tissue paper or toilet paper?
Tissue paper. What?
Tissue. Oh fuck.
That's such a
yeah.
easy
You're
Yeah.
being
Paper.
Yeah.
everyone's freaking mucus.
Better than you.
Would you
Shit.
rather be stuck up someone's ass?
I don't know. I don't want either, honestly. Like,
Like, imagine also like they're one of those like really thorough wipers too, so they get up in
Oh
there,
my
to
god.
get all the particles,
Oh,
and that's you going up in there. Why would you do that to yourself? I'd rather
I'll
go
be
a
that
full
motherfucker with the
nostril.
thin slice, bro. That once, like one finger just breaks through the thing. Like that's what you get, motherfucker.
Ooh, that's a
Do
really
you
good
die if that happens?
I'll do the two.
I'm gonna say no. It just hurts a lot.
All right.
Like
Well,
you're like
then in
immortal.
that case, I want to be like a Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin clean. I love the commercials. I think it's one of the best commercials ever.
Okay, we'll do like one or two more. Let me see. Would you rather eat a stranger's toenail clippings once a week or have everything smell like garbage for the rest of your life?
Everything smell like garbage.
Well, no clippings. I'm
Bro.
putting it in a smoothie.
I'm gonna say this. When I had COVID, everything smelled like lavender, and that made me sick, and it made it so that I had no appetite for literally anything. So I can't
Oh yeah, my
imagine.
lack of taste killed my appetite.
Yeah, I can't imagine smelling garbage. I wouldn't be able to eat at all.
Damn.
I'm saying that right now. So I'm gonna say toenail
I
clippings.
hey, look, I don't care. I'll eat a toenail.
Yeah, I'll eat.
I'm saying just throw it in a smoothie, blend it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
make it a treat. Make it a treat, bro.
Make it a treat.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Would you rather lose the ability to lie or believe everything you're told?
Lie.
Ability to lie.
Yeah, lose.
Actually,
Okay,
yeah.
so let me
I'll do
say
the
it again.
lie.
Let me say it
Damn,
again.
I'm
in
already
case everyone
gullible as
didn't
fuck.
hear it. Would you rather lose the... You guys need me to say it again or no?
No, no.
This
For me,
is a
I
good
think I'm
one.
good.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I'm
This is a
really
good one.
gullible.
I'm thinking.
Like I'm very gullible, so like I suck at lying. I suck at lying.
I'm good at
I'm
lying.
good. I'm good at lying, and I use it on a regular basis. I don't know if I could get rid of that one.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you believe everything you're told, like someone could say like, hey, if you stab yourself, that won't kill you,
Damn. True.
and then you'll think
Yeah,
that,
I
and then
think
you'll
I'll
stab
have to
yourself.
lose the ability to
Yeah.
lie.
So
Ability to lie, cause I want to live.
yeah,
I don't want
Take
to
all
die.
your money, bro.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you know you owe me
But although that
$1,000
can-
every week?
That can fuck you up too, though. Losing the ability to lie. Could be like someone can go, "Hey, what's your social?"
Ooh,
Fuck.
true. True. I didn't
Walk
think
away.
about that one.
Yeah, but then you could call the cops. Be like,
Like
I told them
see the movie
I
Liar,
told them
Liar,
my
I know
social.
where this can go.
Freaking tell the government like I physically don't have the ability to lie. like they'll keep you in like a cell or some shit, so that you don't get.
You're gonna be
like, fucked
you're gonna
with.
become a snitch for the cops.
Yeah,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
bro. Imagine
Nah,
going
even if you
undercover
do.
with that. Like,
You can't. Hey guys,
can't.
I'm an
You're lying.
undercover cop. They told me to snitch on you guys. So if you guys got any valuable information that I could use against you guys, just let me know. I'll be here. Here's my
I can just
address if you
imagine-
guys need me.
I just imagine like the police department sending out a guy to go undercover. He comes back like 5 minutes later. He's like, "What happened?" They asked me if I was a cop.
Oh, that's funny.
okay, I'll do one more, and then we'll wrap up.
Sounds good.
Let me see. Would you rather be a cannibalist for the rest of your life or starve to death?
A cannibal?
Yeah, it
Or
said
starve to
cannibalist,
death?
but I'm guessing it's cannibal.
Yeah, it's cannibal, not cannibalist.
Yeah.
Straight meat, like.
Looks like I'm cooking some medium rare humans.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
True, true.
Uh-oh.
I don't like if I don't know it's actually like straight up human what's it called meat, I will eat it without acknowledging it. But if I knew it was that, I will feel very, very guilty. So it's like I'm sitting like on a
Why
like
are
a
the meat though?
It's
Huh?
already dead, bro.
oh if
Oh,
it's
so like it's
dead,
already
it's
there ready
dead
for us?
people,
Like,
yeah, it's
like,
just dead
like is there
people.
like a human meat
Like-
Costco or something?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Cool, bro.
like I will eat it, but I feel fucking guilty about it.
Fuck
Like
that.
I will want to live, so I'll eat it, but then I'll feel guilty about it. So I'll pick cannibal, but I'll fucking
Just work in a morgue.
Working more.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah.
This man don't miss.
I mean, starving to death is like a terrible death.
True.
Like it's slow.
You will
it's-
die.
Yeah, I
You're
don't.
gonna
I don't know
die.
if I want to digest myself.
Yeah,
True.
exactly. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with being a cannibal. Rip.
Yep.
All right. Well, that is going to be our podcast. Please remember to subscribe and like and comment on our video. We also have another channel for clips. That is Boolin Podcast Clips, if I am correct. It is called that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
and
correct.
then we also have a Spotify and Instagram, as well as a TikTok. Please feel free to check those out. Please tell me if I'm missing anything.
No,
Austin.
everything will be in the description, and then we'll have Austin's
Check out
information down in
Austin.
the description.
Yeah. Plug Austin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then if you want to check out Austin's music, it is Acrion. That is Acrion. He has really good EDM music.
He did
and
our intro.
Yes, and he also did our intro. If you like that, so please go check him out. He also does streams every once in a while. I don't think you have a schedule, right?
It's gonna be Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Okay, so he does have a schedule. So Mondays, Thursdays, you said Fridays and Saturdays?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturdays, Sundays. Okay, so yeah, and his streams are really fun. I pop in there sometimes. It's really fun. And there's good people in there. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.